Obituaries are sponsored by Colonial Funeral Home and Stokes Chapel, Fair, Ray, and Perry Spencer Funeral Homes, Boone & Cook Funeral Home and Crematory.
3 announcements from Fair Funeral Home. Arrangements for Claudine East of Eden are incomplete. Funeral services for Ruby Grant Harden are today at 11 at Draper Pentecostal Holiness Church, with burial at Woodland Cemetery. She was born in Dry Fork, worked as a spinner for the majority of her years at Spray Cotton Mills until retirement after more than 25 years. She was a Sunday school teacher in the nursery at Eden First Pentecostal Holiness Church for many years, then attended Draper Pentecostal Holiness. Surviving are daughters Alice Shelton of Eden, Nancy Robertson and Gerald of Martinsville, Wanda Fitzgerald and Stacy of Stoneville, 7 grandchildren, 2 great-grandchildren, brother Herman Grant and Earlene of Danville, sisters Hazel Morris of Blair's, Margaret Gupton of Dry Fork, and pets Midnight and Little Bit. She was preceded in death by husband Elbridge Ray Harden. Please consider a donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in her name. Ann Rhodes Cooper, 89, died July 30th. She was a resident of Stoneville. Funeral services are tomorrow at 1 at First Baptist Church of Stoneville, with visitation 1 hour prior to services. Burial at Ridgeview Memorial Gardens. She was born in Rockingham County, was employed by Bluebell as a secretary, then later worked part-time at Honeycomb Child Development Center in Mayodan. She was a member of the Stoneville Garden Club and sang in the community choir and her church choir. Surviving, daughter Carol Ann Pretty and Hassel of Stoneville, sons Anthony Rhodes and Debbie, and William Rhodes and Renda, all of Eden, 4 grandchildren, 7 great-grandchildren, and 1 great-great-grandchild. She was preceded in death by husbands Henry Rhodes and Ben Cooper. The family thanks Penny Horn, Judy Shelton, and the Bryan Center staff for their care. In lieu of flowers, donations may be made to her church and Hospice of Rockingham County. 3 announcements from Colonial Funeral Home. Funeral services for Mary Benson Morgan Atkins are today at 2 at Stoneville Pentecostal Holiness Church, where she was the oldest living member. Vera Sands Morton, 92, of Madison, died July 30th. Funeral services are tomorrow at 2 at Bethesda United Methodist Church, where she was a member, Reverend John Howard and Reverend John Taylor officiating, with interment in the church cemetery. The family will receive friends this evening, 6 until 8 in Madison, and other times at the home of her granddaughter, Stephanie. She was born in Stokes County and was preceded in death by husband James Harold Zach Morton. Survivors include 2 grandchildren, 4 great-grandchildren, 5 great-great-grandchildren, and sister Mary Brown. In lieu of flowers, memorial contributions may be made to her church cemetery fund.